Phase Hero. That's 2025. This is the 2025 rankings episode. PD here, joined by Jenna.
Hey, everybody.
We got Aaron Perrine.
What's going on, BD?
We got Jamie Durack.
Merry Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas Eve. If you're watching at the time this episode aired for the first time, it is Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve to all of you. Thanks for spending it with us. Thanks for spending the year with us. If you're listening, happy whatever day it is. And if you're watching later, happy day to you too. Hope you all have a wonderful holidays. Hope you had a great 2025. And in this episode, we're going to talk about some of our favorite things for 2025. Favorite thing. Now, I haven't seen every movie and TV show. I think that's an important disclaimer some of us need to make.
Yeah.
But we are going to do our favorite movies and TV shows, our top 10. And, I think we'll all take a moment to describe how we landed on these lists, what they mean to us, how we pick our favorites and things like that. And I think it's different for each of us. I always say it's important to mention, I think it's important to mention that best and favorite can be two different things, So we're going to do it. All right, Jenna, do you want to explain how you picked your top 10? Any memorable moments or anything to kick us off?
So for me, it's a mix of things that made the year for me, of this project, this particular thing was such a huge part of the year. And it's a combination of those and also things that I could recommend to people at any given opportunity of if you're making a list of the best TV of the year or the best movies of the year, it's have you seen this one yet? And if not, you should add it to your list because I definitely think it deserves to be in that conversation.
Okay. Aaron, what about you? How'd you do it?
Similar to you guys' approaches, trying to figure out a mixture between what I really, really loved and what you can't kind of tell the story of 2025 without. I actually went into Letterboxd and just started putting every single thing I watched in. And if you know, longtime listeners of the program, Aaron don't really log stuff. Maybe, just maybe, 2026 might mark the start of actually logging crap on Letterboxd because it felt good on the brain. It did. It felt nice.
Scratching an itch in that brain, huh?
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, what is happening to me? Who am I?
Jamie, how'd you do it?
Well, I struggled because at first I was not going to include television because it was just stressing me out, the amount of things. But then when I looked at my top 10 as just movies, I wasn't excited about it. I did end up including television, but it bums me out. There are some movies I haven't seen yet. I really think I'm going to love Hamnet because I'm a Shakespeare girly, but I didn't get to see it. Jim Jarmusch has a new movie coming out this week, and he's one of my all-time favorite directors. I've seen every single thing he's ever made, and the fact that I haven't seen his movie is stressing me out. So I just went for it. But I'm just going to make the announcement now. There's 0 comic book movies or things on my list this year, which is I liked a lot of it. I did. But nothing made the list. And I also want to just say that, I'm going to save it because I think BD's going to have this on his list and I'll chime in when you ultimately put it on the list. Okay. So little tease, but yeah, this really stressed me out. And I love ranking. I'm not Aaron. I love to rank shit.
Jamie, you're the epitome of the meme online that's someday I'm going to die and other movies will be released after I die. And that makes me sad. That is you to a T.
It's so true.
Well, yeah, I picked mine based on the experience watching it, that first impression of the movie, rewatchability, and also I also consider is it a good movie? And so the best sort of plays a factor in my choices, but also it's just my personal taste. Did I love the experience watching it? Whether that means when and how I watched it, or just the things that made me feel when I watched it, or just am I going to watch this again 100 times or not? And no, there's a couple movies on my list that I have only watched once and don't plan to watch again, but still love them. So I think we can get this started here. And in the comments, I encourage everybody to play along. If you haven't gathered your top 10 of 2025 yet, it's not too late, but you might maybe just do it in real time. Scribble it down now. Drop your 10 in the comments, because we're about to get started with our 10. And here, let's get our graphic up here. Boom, boom, boom. Head to the stage. Let's go ahead and pause that. And then I need to just move us over. Look at that. Oh, fancy graphic.
Shout out to BD for making all of this.
Yeah.
Took a little while to do this, but this is, I think, the best it's looked so far for one of our rankings things. And I'm really proud of how this came out. So thank you. And I think without further ado, we jump in. My number 10. Now, there's no numbers on this one. Obviously, 10 is at the bottom, 1 is at the top. If you're watching, that's the visual. But my number 10 is One Battle After Another. I love this movie. I saw it in IMAX. I haven't seen it in VistaVision the way it was shot, but I thought it was brilliantly made. I think it's a little scarily dark with the humor. The fact that there's some stuff in there that's so dark that I found it funny. I was like, wow, that's terrifying that when it's in a movie, it's funny because it's so bad. And then you're like, wait a second, that's actually happening in the real world. But in the context of fiction, I was able to kind of laugh at the darkness of it. I think, the cast is great. The supporting cast just steals scenes. Sean Penn's terrifying in it. But yeah, I think One Battle After Another is one of those movies that I went into mostly just because Greg Alba from Real Rejects was like, hey, we got an extra ticket for the +1 for the screening at IMAX tonight. You want to go? And I was in town. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. I'll do it. And then I just ended up being like, wow, that blew me away. So One Battle After Another. Great film. Heavy film. But my number 10, it made my top 10. Jenna.
So my number 10, I'm so glad we included TV in this because you'll learn from this list that I love a lot of very weird TV. Because my number 10 is the 4th and final season of The Righteous Gemstones. So this show, if you're not familiar, this is created by and starring Danny McBride, and it follows a family of televangelists who are both the most horrible and most endearing people that you could possibly imagine. The show goes into places that like you cannot even fathom, and every single season always feels like a series finale. And so like knowing ahead of time that they had a final season, I was like, what are they going to cook? There is an entire bottle episode where Bradley Cooper plays their like Civil War era ancestor just because he can. And it's like a very beautiful, very profound episode. Walton Goggins has an entire storyline across the season that he's like trying to make a Riverdale show about Jesus as a teenager. Like it's all stuff out of context that sounds absolutely deranged, but it is so well done. The characters are so good. Everyone is just so funny. I love this show so much. I'm so sad it's over, but like that season was such a great like high point for me this year.
I need to finish that show. I started season 1 this year and I hear nothing but good things.
It only gets better and better.
Whew. Jamie, you're number 10.
Ooh, my number 10. We got Nia DaCosta and Tessa Thompson collaborating again with Hedda. I loved this movie. I'm theater kid through and through, and a queer adaptation of Hedda Gabler is like something that was really catered to me specifically. Tessa Thompson is great, but I just have to say that Nina Hoss gives one of my favorite performances of the year. If it were up to me, she would win the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, but I doubt she'll even be nominated. She was nominated for an Independent Spirit Award though, and they always get it right. I just was like just so enamored, and the changes that they made in order to make this a queer story was awesome. Nia DaCosta, we love you. Thank you for your service. If you haven't seen it yet, I believe it's on Amazon Prime. So check that out. It's great.
I feel like I'm going to learn a lot from Jamie's list here. I haven't seen Hedda. Aaron, number 10.
We got Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. This is basically, friends, if you're in the Demon Slayer fandom, their version of Infinity War and Endgame is the Infinity Castle arc of Demon Slayer, and it's in 3 parts. This is the first part. They've waited this entire time to get to the climactic, like in battle against like the bad guy, and it is 2.5 hours of like anime AMV goodness, like real pretty insane fights. There are bad things that happen to your faves. Your faves are not safe. That is made very clear during this, where I'm like, oh man, wow, I did not expect that. Watching this with Ariel and her little weeb friends and their shrieks of horror when bad things happen to fan favorite characters was a delight. So can't wait for the other 2. Unfortunately, it's going to take them like 3 years to animate the second part of Infinity Castle, but it was a hoot.
All right, my number 9 is, I forgot actually. Oh no, I didn't. It's Predator Badlands. I liked Predator Badlands a lot more than I thought I was going to before I knew much about Predator Badlands. I mean, Prey was fantastic, This movie felt like, yeah, I understand the people who say like, oh, they kind of Disney-fied the Predator movies, but to me, it's like they made them a little bit more lighthearted by making a Yautja character the protagonist. And hey, guess what? Turns out I like those kind of movies. I still think this movie had a lot of the savagery of the original Predator movies without necessarily the blood, because I don't even know if there's any humans in this movie. There's a lot of synths and all kinds of stuff that get wrecked by Deck and Elle Fanning as Tessa and Thea. But this movie, I loved Predator Badlands. I was really impressed by what Dan Trachtenberg did here, and I really, really hope they make another movie, because Deck is a character I want to spend more time with, and I feel like he has some big plans there, Mr. Trachtenberg. So number 9, Predator Badlands.
I just want to say that I love Predator, and I haven't seen Badlands yet. That's how messed up my current schedule is. I'm so upset, but I love that you put it on your list. It makes me hyped to finally watch it.
I'd be curious to see what you think.
I'm sure I'll love it. I have no doubt.
All right, Jenna, number 9.
So my number 9, if you told me like 3-ish years ago that this would be on a top 10 list, I would be completely baffled. It is the Naked Gun reboot. No movie has like rattled in my brain in terms of like one-liners and certain jokes. Like the entire sequence with the snowman still is one of my favorite scenes of the entire year. Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson are just committing to the bit in a way that I never could have imagined either of them doing it. And it is just so gleefully silly. I love Akifa Schaffer. I love the work that he does. And I think like he understood the assignment in a way that really endeared me to this. This is a movie that I know I'm going to rewatch like over and over again.
It's like such stupid humor in The Naked Gun that you just have to appreciate the fact that it is actually so smart, the writing.
Yes.
It's so well done.
Great.
The UCLA joke like rattles around in my brain at least once a week. It's so good.
Liam Neeson said the words Cordelia Chase. Like, oh, that will live in my brain forever. My number 9 is The Studio. What a fun moment in time it was to watch this season of television. Like, it's a lot of inside baseball, and it's our inside baseball. And the whole cast was great. I loved watching these, like, the celebrities play themselves, and like Ron Howard being an asshole. Like Martin Scorsese is crying. Like, everything they did in the show was hilarious. It was catered again, specifically to my interests, which is the behind the scenes of movies. And they did it it was so clever. And I'm glad that they won some Emmys along the way. I can't wait for them to do more of it.
Studio was great. That was one of my. That might have actually been my number 11. Fantastic. All right, Aaron, number 9.
Oh, I got Ironheart down here at number 9.
Yeah.
I think this show was the most fun I had in a fandom space this year online with the people. There are a lot of different opinions about what's been put out TV-wise for Marvel TV, but I had a gas. There is nothing quite like being around hilariously. I think, was it like I was on the way to the office or something, and Eric Voss got the text. Someone had checked his phone, and I laughed so hard. It is the funniest thing I've seen, watching his spirit leave his body as something we've all been waiting for since WandaVision finally occurred in front of all of us. Don't ask me where it's going to happen. Where are we going to get stuff? That's for another day. I had a good time, and I learned so much about pizza from Jenna and the Chicago skyline, why things don't make sense. So I had a good time. Ironheart number 9.
That finale was so good. All right, my number 8. This one might surprise some people. I think I got my first big surprise here. My number 8 is The Housemaid.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I thought this movie was fan-fucking-tastic. Paul Feig doesn't miss. I'm a big fan of Paul Feig movies, The Heat, Bridesmaids, even his Ghostbusters. I think it's fun. Like, say what you will about it, and everybody loves to. It's still a fun movie. I don't care what you say. It's not a great movie in my opinion, but it's a lot of fun. And I think Paul Feig cooked something here. And Simple Favor. This is more of the Simple Favor genre of Paul Feig than it is those other movies. But it's another one with some dark humor, some tension. Everybody in this movie's hot. And it's a good movie. It really, I didn't even know it was based on a book when I first decided I was going to go see it. I think Amanda Seyfried did it. The work she did in this movie is phenomenal. She's so good in this movie. And I think Paul Feig just doesn't miss. I'm a big fan of that guy as a director. So Housemaid made my number 8.
I have tickets to see this today, but now I can't go because it's raining in LA and LA doesn't know how to handle it. Like, there's a little rain, there might be a flood. So I'm once again sad that I haven't seen the movie.
It's a good movie. You'll enjoy it when you do safely get to the theater.
The fact that you love that movie that much, like even if it's just recency bias, like I love that it is on your top 10. Like never in a million years could have imagined that.
It's just one of those movies I walked out. I did think maybe this is recency bias because I looked at my list and I looked at some of the things that aren't on this. And I remember loving Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man when it aired, but it's not in my top 10. And I was like, maybe it just got removed. So maybe that is possible. But The Housemaid, when I walked out of the theater, I was genuinely just, wow, that was fucking great. And that's why I put it above the other things that didn't make this list. All right, Jenny, you're number 8.
So my number 8 is another TV show. It is called The Chair Company. So this was on HBO somewhat recently. So it's from Tim Robinson and Zach Kanan, who co-created I Think You Should Leave, which is just part of my vocabulary at this point. Like every single sketch on that show is a work of art. And I was like, what are they going to do with an HBO budget and long form television? And I never could have imagined it would go into the places that it does. It stars Tim as a guy who falls out of a chair during an important work conference and gets really embarrassed about it. And in trying to figure out why he fell out of the chair, he uncovers this massive conspiracy that like I still don't entirely understand what happened in season 1. It's renewed for season 2. It's going to probably get even crazier from there. There are some things in there that are very much not safe for work, but it is such a delightful show. It is so much fun. Highly recommend.
I have not finished this show yet, but I have watched, I think, 4 or 5 episodes, and it is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The only reason it's not in my top 10 probably is because I haven't finished it yet.
It gets even weirder from that point onward.
It is so funny. All right.
I love Tim Robinson, so I will be watching it at some point. I just want to say it's really cool that so far there are 0 duplicates. Like, how beautiful. They really speak to who we all are as people. The next one is an obvious one. I feel like it's going to be on a lot of the lists of the year for a lot of people and publications, and that is Sinners. Sinners was what a time, what a moment. There's nothing I love more than vampire movies. I also love twin movies. I love movies with music. I got back from Japan and went with Aaron to see this with so much jet lag. I walked out of it like, oh, maybe I didn't like it, but it turns out that I was just not alive. And then I finally got to see it in IMAX, and I was like, life changing. It's just it's fun, it's cool. I don't know what else to say. I don't think there's anyone on earth who didn't like this movie. Like, even if it's not in your top 10, I think you liked it. Great time at the cinema.
After episode 100, I'm not gonna let it go that Jamie put Sinners first out of the lowest.
Yeah, but does everyone have it on the list at all? We don't know that.
We'll see. Yeah, that's true. We'll see. Aaron, what you got number 8?
Wicked for Good. Cue up the riff, friends. I have been conscripted into this fandom by the rest of this panel, including Brandon Davis, Wicked bus driver Brandon Davis. What a time, I swear. Like, I could have never guessed I'd have freaking tears streaming down my face furiously during a movie like this year. Ariel freaking out. I get texts from you guys, oh my god, freaking out. This the reaction podcast. If you haven't gone and listened to our freaking Wicked for Good podcast, please go listen to that. That is one of those times where I know all of us do a lot of yapping about stuff that maybe we don't all love. We all really enjoyed this film. But yeah, it's down here at number 8.
All right, we're in the top 7. And I'm going to take it to 28. Oh, wait a second. Wait. I switched something. Hold on. Oh, I switched my rankings when I put them in the graphic. I have Sinner 7. I thought I had 28 Years Later here. Spoiler alert, 28 Years Later is coming up on my list, but I have Sinners number 7. And wow,
that was close. Shit. It was right here.
I actually gave Jamie shit, and I forgot that I had it literally next.
This is going to be so much worse with the next rankings episode when we have the same 10 projects to deal with. He's going to do this again and again.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. Let's go back. Everyone, go watch episode 100. See who started this feud, y'all. Okay. It was 3 against 1. Okay. Anyway,
That's when you know you're wrong, BD.
It was 4 against 1 because Cam was also giving you shit. So
fighting for my life on episode 100 on the Infinity Saga rankings. No, Sinners. This is because I think these top 10 are all projects that I love so much for various reasons. Whether it's the way they're made, the things they made me feel, all those things. Sinners just checks all those boxes, and I think Ryan Coogler was as deep in his bag as he could have possibly been with this movie, and he delivered one sequence, which in my opinion is maybe this is very hyperbolic to say, but there's a sequence in this film, that music sequence might be the most iconic sequence in film this year. Now, I haven't seen everything that's come out, but that sequence is incredible. Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, amazing work. And I just thought Sinners was a fantastic movie. It's my number 7.
So my number 7 is Thunderbolts. It's interesting, like we're this far in and we only have 2 comic book projects. Like that's pretty cool. This movie snuck up on me in so many ways. I just like that era and us getting to record the in-person podcast and all of that. Like I still look at that time so fondly. And even just outside of that, like this movie just hit a nerve and really resonated with people, and like just seeing the Marvel fandom kind of like reawaken and fall in love with these characters, and kind of it felt like it was 2010s Tumblr again with the way that people were interacting with the characters in this movie. I think Jake Schreier did like such a cool job of making this its own thing, but also carrying all of the different threads from all of the projects beforehand. And I just love this team so much. I would love a trilogy of movies just with them. I'm glad we get to see them in a year's time, and I'm so thankful that this movie exists.
Great movie. All right, Jamie.
Oh, what do I have next? Putting this ahead of Sinners might be recency bias because I just watched it this week, but right now I'm just riding so high on it. It's Marty Supreme. I just love that safety energy. It gives us like kind of a similar vibe to what Uncut Gems did, which is just this like crazy, like kind of intense story about something that shouldn't be intense. We're talking about ping pong, people, and the thing is, I've always been kind of whatever on Timothée Chalamet because I feel like Hollywood has been trying to make him a classic leading man, and they realized with Marty Supreme, Timmy is not a classic leading man. He's meant to play little rat fucks, and in Marty Supreme, he thrives at playing a little rat fuck, and I think it's his year. I think he's winning the Oscar. It's not necessarily the performance I would pick for Best Actor of the Year, but I think he's going to win, and I'm okay with him winning because he was really fantastic in it. And it's a fun movie. The cast is great. Another home run for the Safdie family.
I want to compliment Timothée Chalamet's marketing fun that he's having with this movie. I only know of this movie because people like Jamie have been talking really highly about it and anticipating it, but B, him standing on top of that Vegas sphere and just just being funny. He's become a walking meme, and he dropped a rap video. Like Timmy's having fun. Kid's a movie star, and I hope Doomsday holds just so I can watch Timothée Chalamet talk about the Avengers cast in that movie. But that's the conversation for another show. Aaron, what you got number 7?
Me and Jenna, the Jean Grey Storm connection continues. I got Thunderbolts right over here. I don't know where I had this thing ranked headed into the year. I was so surprised walking out of that theater. I never thought
have it at the bottom.
Yeah, I think it was like literally last.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't worry, we're
gonna
gonna
pull that up at the
end.
Yeah, you totally. Shout out to IMAX for getting all my shame in 4K. I really, really was enamored with, if you get me to care about US Agent and Ghost and like literally like a B team, which is what everybody's been saying all the Phase 4 characters are in the first place, and make everybody really obsessed with a guy who's just Bob, I feel like you earned your spot over here for sure. Like, I never thought I'd be like, I want to see what the new Avengers are going to do in freaking Doomsday when we have all this other stuff going on, but I totally do.
All right, my number 6, I'm going to let it show itself before I say it in case I move things around while I was making the graphic again. There it is. That's what I thought we had here. 28 years later, mostly because this movie could have been all about Samson's giant zombie life, and we would have been entertained. This movie was really good, though. I'm a huge fan of 28 Days Later. I don't think 28 Weeks Later is that great, and I think 28 Years Later was a really, really interesting way to revisit and revitalize the 28 X Later franchise. and Danny Boyle clearly had fun making this one. And also, it's kind of like two different movies in one. Once you get to the Bone Temple area, which can't wait to see the Bone Temple in January, Ray Fiennes and his presence in the movie basically make it a whole different movie. Which, if you would have told me the way it changes the movie, I would have, before seeing it, been like, there's no way this is going to be something I enjoy, because I like the grittiness of 28 Days Later, which I feel like the first half of this movie has, and the second half goes into something else. The last 5 minutes get a little campy for me, but I'm curious how that's going to pay off in Nia DaCosta's. Yeah, and listen, you saw me watch The Substance, Jamie. You know that's not for me.
We'll just never fully connect, BD.
But I did love this movie overall, and even if it became a Power Rangers flick for the final couple moments, I think it was awesome. And I can't wait to see where it goes with 28 years later, the Bone Temple. And I'm happy we have this movie. We had this to start the year, and it was a great start. It stuck with me. So it made my number 6. Jenna, what you got 6?
All right, so I'm doing the first three-peat of the ranking so far. I have Sinners at number 6. I love this movie purely just for like normalizing IMAX formats and like getting everyone like that video of Coogler talking about what format to see the movie in. One of the best things to come out of this year. I love that like people were getting educated in that way. Like BD said, the music sequence is just so magical. Like I wish I could go back and rewatch it for the first time and just feel the emotions that I felt sitting in that IMAX theater watching it. Like it is so incredible. I have not rewatched it since seeing it in theaters because like that theatrical experience was so special, but I know I'm going to have this in rotation as soon as I get the Blu-ray. Like this movie is incredible. Michael B. Jordan does a great job. Like it is just so great.
That's a great movie. All right, Jamie, your number 6.
Oh, for the third year in a row, wouldn't be a Jamie list without some Yorgos Lanthimos Begonia. This is probably my least favorite Yorgos Emma Stone collab, and it still made my top 10, which just goes to show how much their shit works for me. That third act is just some of the most fun I've had in theaters all year. Like, as the movie was going, I'm like, I don't know. And then it just went to places that were so great. And the performances. Jesse Plemons, like, I think he should have been nominated last year for Kinds of Kindness. And I'm like, they better recognize him this year for what he's doing. Emma Stone's obviously great too, but she already has 2 Oscars, you know. Like, Jesse Plemons, like, just needs to be further recognized for being one of the greatest actors of the generation. He's so good. And yeah, this movie is weird. BD, did you see this one?
Filed under movies BD hasn't seen yet.
Yeah, I don't think you'll like it. Just gonna say it. I'm just gonna put it out there. But you know, save yourself some time. But no, it's weird. It's fun. It's disturbing. I had a great time.
I think I'll pass then. Aaron, number 6.
Oh, it's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. It's Heated Rivalry. Oh boy. I had heard, before this came out, I follow Miles McNutt, who does a great job over on Episodic Medium talking about different TV shows. He's a Canadian TV expert, and he was like, you guys are not prepared for the gay hockey show. Y'all are not prepared for the gay hockey show. And I was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And then I saw one trailer. I was like, I'm in. And then HBO also saw a trailer. Casey Boyd's like, give me some of that. So this is the biggest thing on television right now. I don't know. Are you watching us on a phone? Then you've seen both of our lads not really playing hockey, doing other things. But yeah, delightful. No notes. I'm just sad it's going to take them a while to get the next season out because there's a lot more we can do here.
I haven't watched. I don't even know if I've heard about Heated Rivalry until these rankings.
I would not be surprised if it hasn't made it to your circle of the internet yet. I'm embarrassed.
What is my circle of the internet, huh?
I just mean like I know what kind of like, you know, Jamie and I's and Aaron's feeds are usually, and yours is not necessarily in that way. I am ashamed to admit I haven't started the show yet, but I've heard so many good things. Like in the new year, I have not had the time to like.
Jenna's been hanging out in my circle of the internet too long.
But early next year, I'm going to start this, and I have a feeling I'm going to like it just based on you two.
Mm-hmm. All right, we are halfway through. My 10 through 6 are number 10, One Battle After Another, Predator, Badlands, The Housemaid, Sinners, and 28 Years Later. Jenny, you want to hit us with your 10 through 6?
Yeah, so mine are Righteous Gemstones, Naked Gun, Chair Company, Thunderbolts, and Sinners.
Jamie.
Hedda, The Studio, Sinners, Marty Supreme, and Begonia.
Aaron.
Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle, Ironheart, Wicked for Good, Thunderbolts, and Heated Rivalry.
All right. I feel like there's no huge surprises here yet. Maybe Housemaid is the biggest surprise yet. Nothing
Yeah,
really.
I think that
I
is
think so.
Yeah.
for sure.
This is pretty. It's pretty. Are we safe? Are we being safe today? What's happening? All right. My number 5 is Daredevil Born Again.
Ooh.
I really liked the show. I had a great time watching it. I think it was a great way to bring Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio into the MCU. I think the bookends of this season were phenomenal, and I just really enjoyed the experience watching it. I think the week-to-week conversations were a ton of fun. I do think the quality dipped a little bit in the middle along the way at times, but never to a point where I was like, I didn't like that episode. There were episodes I liked less than others, but there were none that I thought were bad. Good show. Great show. Loved it. Really enjoyed Daredevil Born Again. Cannot wait to see season 2. And I think that's pretty straightforward. That finale, my God, it was so good.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh,
I still haven't
Ivy.
watched the last 2 episodes.
how do you?
I'm just amazed that you haven't been spoiled on it. That like no one has
Yeah.
brought it up in conversation.
I'd actually
I
argue the
didn't.
second to last episode is the best one. That cliffhanger, and I'm not
I
going to
haven't
say what
seen
it
that
was.
either. Listen. I'm gonna watch it before season 2. It'll happen.
It would be funny if you didn't, and then you just jump in and you're like, "What is happening right now?"
Oh, my bad.
Oh my gosh!
All right, Jenna, number 5.
All right, so my number 5 is Frankenstein. This is the movie that Guillermo del Toro was born to make. He has been wanting to make this for basically his entire career, and I am so thankful that he finally got to make it in the context that he did. I wish everyone could see this on the biggest movie screen possible. I didn't even really get to see it on a super big one. I had to go to like a dine-in theater because that was the only place in my area that was playing it. And I still was so just captivated by every single thing. The visuals are incredible. The costuming, they built an entire pirate ship just for a couple sequences in the movie. I highly recommend watching the behind the scenes documentary about the movie. I've seen it twice because there's so much to absorb in it. And the performances are great. Oscar Isaac is crushing it. And Jacob Elordi fully surprised me. I remember when he got cast because he was replacing Andrew Garfield, and I was like, I can see it because he's tall, but I don't really know what kind of performance he's going to deliver. And he fully made me weep. He is so good. He's just so emotional. It's exactly what the character needed. I love this movie so much.
It's a very good movie. It was close to making my list.
Hell yeah.
All right, Jamie, number 5.
You know, we've been talking about best versus favorites, and this is the one on my list that I will fully acknowledge is under the favorites category. But let me tell you, I've seen it 4 times. Freakier Friday. I loved this movie. No, oh, that's wrong. You swapped those, but that's okay.
My bad.
That's okay. I'm still gonna talk about Freakier Friday, because it's my actual. Well, I don't mind if these are swapped. You know what? Severance is good too. No, Freakier Friday. I saw it 4 times, and Aaron and I. It was the best premiere I've ever been to. We had so much fun. It's just like it's now just comfort food. I will watch this movie now all the time, constantly to make myself happy. Spoiler alert: Severance is next for me. We'll talk about it then. Yeah, maybe I did switch them in my email. I don't know, but that's what it is.
I knew Freakier Friday would make your list in some way. It's like this won't be right.
This is where you had Severance in the email.
I did. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. BD, I apologize. I must have swapped it last minute because that's fair. Honestly, I'll stand by it. But I'll talk about Severance when I go next, just because.
Listen, I made the graphic and got my own shit wrong, so it's okay.
Yeah, looking at my list, I did swap them, but I probably called the last minute audible because of how much I love Freakier Friday. I've
Valid.
watched Severance once. I've watched Freakier Friday 4 times. So
All right, Aaron, you're number 5.
Oh my God, this is so funny. Freakier Friday.
What if the graphic was also Severance?
That would be like, oh, I didn't even rank it. Oh my Jesus. So Freakier Friday was an amazing, wild time at the premiere. And unlike Jamie, I'm not like a devotee of the original movie. And I was shocked. I did not know what we were walking into. I was like, I hope this is just good. I hope it's okay. Because I know tons of my friends care a lot about this, the original movie. I know Jamie hates when people say it's the original one because it's not technically the original one. Yeah, I mean, just delightful performances from Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis and Emma. Like is so much of it just works. It just feels nice. This is definitely on the list of like me and my mom while I'm here in Ohio, definitely sitting down and being like, yeah, let's do this. so about Freaky or Friday, and I can't believe I've said this. This has been such a weird year for all sorts of reasons. It's been a strange year, and this is just another part of it.
I'm of the belief that Jamie Lee Curtis had the time of her life making this movie.
Oh yeah.
It looked like fun. And the blooper reel at the end, I love put blooper reels back in comedies.
Mm-hmm.
My number 4, F1.
Oh.
I loved this movie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just had so much fun watching this movie. I thought the direction on the race scenes was awesome. I think Brad Pitt was just a fun character to watch. I mean, I think Brad Pitt's a very good actor, obviously, but I think what Joe Kosinski did with the direction on the race scenes specifically, the biggest criticism I had after watching this movie was like the commentary felt like such a constant narration of exposition to the audience. But I saw this in IMAX, bought a ticket to it, and I really, really loved this movie. Loved the experience watching it, and it was in like a stretch of buying tickets to movies that I didn't see in any way for work, which was this, Jurassic, and Sinners, and this was like later. There was like 3, and this was like the clear favorite movie of the summer that I in no way did any like events or work or anything with. I just thought it had a banger ass soundtrack. Put so many songs on my playlist, and it's just like it just feels like a sort of throwback movie about I don't know, dude who, you know, it's got romance, it's got race cars, it's just fucking cool movie. It's just fun to watch. Like, I don't know, I had a good time, and that's it. All right.
So when I said part of my list is like things I would recommend to people, this pick is a huge reason for why. Because like in my mind, you cannot have a conversation about the best TV of the past year without mentioning season 2 of The Rehearsal. It is so inexplainable that it is honestly like Aaron losing losing it is further emblematic of why I should have this year. The Rehearsal, if you're not familiar, is Nathan Fielder's show that is a follow-up to Nathan For You. And he basically was like, let me put HBO budget into making elaborate recreations of scenarios to help people get through things. And season 1 was already crazy enough. And it took 3 years to get season 2. And everyone was like, what could he possibly come back with that like justifies this long of a wait? The long game that he was playing, I will not give away spoilers, but like there is something that he had to do for the finale of this season that required years and years of preparation. He was kind of getting to the bottom of plane crashes and whether or not like helping pilots rehearse through scenarios would help them be better in plane crash scenarios. That sounds silly in theory, but the way that it goes from there is just beyond belief. Like there are things that this show does that defy explanation, but it is so well put together and like so watchable. I was losing my mind every single week. I need to rewatch it all in one sitting, but I feel like I'll lose my mind when I do it. Like it is one of the best shows of the year.
All right, Jamie, we know what's next for you.
This is Freaky or Friday. Now looking at the email, I'm like, I see why I called this audible last minute. I stand by it. I like Freaky or Friday more than Severance. I get it. But since I already talked about Freaky or Friday, Severance was an incredible season of television. There's never been anything quite like it. It's so exciting. Every week it was just a thrill to watch. And weird, different. I still think it's crazy it did not win Best Drama at the Emmys this year, but what a good time. Sorry, Adam Scott, you're not as good as Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan solving bodies, but you are still a winner and a great actor in my heart, and I thank all of you for your service. I really hope season 3 doesn't take 3 years though, because that was just ridiculous. Like, because then you have to rewatch it. It's so complicated. You can't remember shit. So, but it was still one of the best things I think that came out this year.
All right, Aaron, number 4.
Oh boy, we're getting into the nitty gritty now. I got Superman right here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did believe a man could fly. So mission accomplished. Well done, James. No, you're hanging out. I just the groundswell. Well, I might have had more fun for me on the internet during Ironheart. There is no question that the internet at large had a lot of fun around this. This was an event with a capital E. This is probably, man, I don't even know how far back it to go, but like non-comic book people talking about a comic book movie online. And that was wild to see. Also, man, oh man, I can't remember last time it was hard to get into one of these movies, and it was hard as heck to get in one of them screeners, boy. Woo, my God, the hype was so real. David Cornsweet, fantastic. Cannot wait to see what Man of Tomorrow brings. You completely, I said a long time ago in a different universe on another podcast not another podcast with any variants of us, but another podcast that if we were going to do this DC thing, we need to get Superman right, and doggone it, James Gunn did.
I have to agree with you. All right, we're in the top 3, winding down our best of 2025s here. My number 3. Hell
yeah.
If I go any longer, I think we get a strike and people tune out. But Peacemaker season 2, everybody who follows me saw how much fun I had covering this show. Cast was so good to me, giving me their time for interviews, which may have enhanced my experience undeniably, obviously. But I just think this show was phenomenal start to finish. I think the finale felt more like an epilogue than the episode before it did. But the places this show went, the Earth X twist was predicted, but then the Salvation twist was a complete surprise. And, we got a major cameo in it. It connected with Superman. It just started laying things out for the DC universe in a major way. And I think John Cena and Jennifer Holland did such a great job bringing so much emotion to this show. Would I've loved to see more Freddie Stroma, Steve Agee, and the 11th Street Kids? Yeah, absolutely. But this season, there wasn't even a Peacemaker costume outside the first episode, I don't think. And I still think these characters were so strong and so entertaining and so well written and so well acted that I didn't even care, which is one of my biggest complaints when we talk about these superhero shows. And it didn't hit me on this one. Peacemaker season 2 is number 3, only because I think the two above it are just masterpieces, whether in terms of experience or quality of film or TV show. But we'll see.
I will point out he did wear the Earth X costume quite a bit. So beyond episode 1,
that's true. I guess. Yeah. That's a good call. There was the later on.
So my number 3 is One Battle After Another. I'm going to retread a lot of what BD said. I definitely wholeheartedly agree with it. Sean Penn's performance alone is just unbelievable. Like, his walk rattled around in my brain for like a month. The moment that this hit digital and people were able to clip the way that he walks in and out of a room or in and out of a scene, I was so thankful. This movie really thoroughly surprised me. I remember not really being super wowed by the trailers, but just hearing the hype around it, hearing people be like, go see this on the biggest IMAX screen that you can find. And I went to like a Tuesday night matinee. It was practically full. And everyone was absolutely loving it. This is the movie of the year, like in so many different ways. I cannot wait to see how many Oscars it wins. Like, everyone is just absolutely crushing it. And Chase Infinity, I look forward to seeing where your career goes from here, because she is phenomenal.
Oh. Jamie, number 3.
Oh, this is where I really struggled, because it felt silly putting something on my list that's not complete, but I just love it so much, and that's Stranger Things. I just we've only gotten 4 episodes, but God, were they 4 good episodes. And the thing about this show is that it's been almost a decade, and it's just never wavered in quality. It's been awesome this whole time, and I've enjoyed having to wait for it. I've enjoyed the experience. It's one of the few, I think it's the only show I like that it's binge drop, because it's, to me, each season doesn't feel like a season of television. It's like its own limited series. That's why they call them Stranger Things 2, 3, 4, 5. It's it's just its own unique thing that is unlike anything else, and they're all so good. And just watching it on Thanksgiving with Jake and Tony, and just being on the edge of our seats, screaming and freaking out. The fact that there are still 4 more episodes to go, and I have this on my list, is just proof that I have so much faith in the Duffer Brothers. Tomorrow is Christmas, and for me, it's just that I get to watch more Stranger Things. So it's a bit of a gamble to put this on my list without it being complete, but I'm confident that in years to come, it is what I'll still be talking about when it comes to 2025.
Damn, I gotta catch up. I still haven't finished season 4. Aaron, you're number 3.
Well, at number 3, we've got Fantastic Four: First Steps. I don't think I've had a movie in the last 2 to 3 years kind of switch on. Ever seen that meme where there's 2 guys riding a bus and one guy is sad because he's looking at the side of a mountain, and the other guy is looking out of this beautiful vista on the other side? It turns me right into a that boy good appreciator. I just turn that side of my brain off. There's something about a mid-century focus in design. Matt Shackman makes beautiful films. I'm so intrigued. I don't know what he's going to do next, but I was really kind of like wondering, I'm like, well, how hard are we going to go into the retro futurism nostalgia? And the answer is turn it up to 11 and break the knob. That's what we did. And of course, that appeals to me. I'm so excited to see this team in Doomsday. It absolutely aesthetically my favorite thing I've seen, just because I'm such a sucker for it. And I know that's a lizard brain take. I know there's a vibe space take, but it does it for me, man. I don't know.
Nothing wrong with that. Fantastic Four is a good movie. Fantastic Four is a very good movie. I'm actually surprised that it's not in my top 10, but I like it. It just hasn't taken up as much space in my mind as I thought it would going in. We're in our top 2 here. We're in our top 2. Anybody want to make it? I think maybe we'll make a couple fun predictions. Anybody? What do you guys think my top 2 might be? Anybody got any guesses?
I think it's going to be Wicked.
I think I know what the other non-Wicked answer is.
Yeah, I think so too. But
I think I know Brandon and Jamie's top 2 pretty confidently.
I think my number 2 is going to surprise you because I think you all forgot something.
Oh.
I think everybody here forgot one thing that came out this year. And I only said because obviously I made this graphic, so I saw everybody's list. And I actually, when we do this, by the time we do this, I forget what your lists are. But there was one thing about it that nobody had on their list except for me. To the point that I had to go Google, did this happen in 2025? And it did. Andor season 2.
Oh,
This is what I knew you were going to put that we were going to talk about. So go ahead.
This is the best thing Disney Plus has ever released. And the experience of watching this show was phenomenal. This might be the best Star Wars of maybe like my lifetime. I don't know. I do think Andor season 2 is a masterpiece. I think Andor as a whole, the first season took me about till halfway through to buy in. And then I was like, wow, this shit rules. And then Andor season 2 was like, this is a fucking masterpiece. What they did from cast to writing, Genevieve O'Reilly with that speech to the Senate, to just everything about it. It wasn't afraid to be dark. It wasn't afraid to be a metaphor for just shit that's going on in the world. It wasn't afraid. And Tony Gilroy penning his stuff online as well about what's going on in the real world. Andor season 2 arrived at a perfect time. It is a perfect show. And I'm shocked I'm the only person that has it on. I don't mean to spoil the top 2 for anybody else. Nobody else has Andor on their lists. And I was shocked to see that.
So I knew you were going to put it on your list, and it was really a struggle for me to exclude it because I do think it is one of the greatest things that came out this year. But I had so many issues with it that it would be disingenuous. I think that everything we saw in this season was incredible, but everything we didn't see really soured it for me. It was so obvious that they crammed four seasons into one season. Like, for example, season 1 took their time with so much. We got to see so many character developing relationships. And then in season 2, all of a sudden, 2 characters that we've never seen interact are like really good friends. And it really bummed me out that how rushed it was. Now, again, everything we did see was incredible. And I do think it's one of the best things that's come out. But every week I was like annoyed, which is why it didn't show up on my list.
I didn't feel that. I mean, I think that I completely understand what you're saying. I think that's a completely valid take. I didn't feel that. I am usually anti-binge, but the way they did it with 3 episodes at a time and all that, I just ended up enjoying it. And this is another one where I felt like the final 4 were a bit more of an epilogue, even though less so than what I would say about Peacemaker. But I think that this show is just damn near perfect. It was so damn good, and I adored it from start to finish. Thought it was really powerful stuff, and I loved it. And there's the set designs, the music, the costumes, everything. I think Andor was phenomenal, and I think it's the best show Disney Plus has ever made. All right, Jenna, number 2.
So my number 2 is Peacemaker season 2. Surprising probably absolutely no one. I have never spent so many hours with a season of television before in my life. I have, made over 3 hours worth of videos just dissecting this season with a fine-tooth comb. And you would think spending that amount of time would make you like kind of sick of something, but I only love it more and more with every passing moment. I think that it culminated in a way that wasn't necessarily what everyone expected or wanted, but it was what we all needed. And I think just as a character piece, as just a showcase for the cast and the acting that they can do, I'm so glad that Daniel Brooks is getting like award nominations for this show. I think John Cena needs to be in that conversation too, because I think they are both doing incredible jobs. That scream that he lets out on Earth X is incredible. The scene in the motel in the finale, like it is just beautiful acting that to the point where you almost forget that you're watching a comic book show. And I think that the way that it cemented and kind of showed what the DC universe can look like when it's not the high octane kind of Superman level stuff is just really beautiful to me. I love it so much. This show is just so special.
I gotta agree with you there. Jamie, number 2.
I can't believe Aaron and I haven't talked about this yet in our spare time, but let me tell you, it's heated rivalry. I have not felt a way about something the way heated rivalry it makes me feel in a very long time. For example, every other show on this list that I included, I've watched once. I have watched there's 6 the finale drops tomorrow. I've watched the 5 episodes of heated rivalry 3 times, and that's just in the last 2 weeks. Have I watched all these episodes 3 times? It is like, you guys know that 2 of my favorite things are horny and queer, and that is what the show is. But let me tell you, the first 4 episodes, like, you know, I'm watching it. It's all I'm talking about. But people ask me, are you going to make Tony watch it? And I was like, you know, I don't think I'm going to make Tony watch the show where 2 gay hockey players are having sex for 4 straight episodes. Like, you know, it's just not his thing. 2 men having sex isn't really his thing. And then the 5th episode dropped. And it is one of the best episodes of television I've ever seen. In fact, it is now the highest rated episode of television on IMDb in history. It beat Breaking Bad, which I'm not saying it's better than Breaking Bad. That's crazy. But like the impact of the show, it's all most of my friends are talking about. Like, tomorrow, I'm so hyped for Stranger Things, but I'm just as excited for the heated rivalry finale. It is doing crazy things, like the idea that like this gay romance is like living rent free in everybody's mind. The fact that that hockey teams are making jokes about it on the internet, that hockey games are showing trailers when hockey is not a sport that has, I don't know if any out players are playing. I don't know anything about hockey, but I don't think like it is like the impact this show has is it's like it is like life changing, and you know, you could chalk it up to recency bias, but I just don't think that's the case. It is I'm just like excited that I get to talk about it, and it is ultimately the reason why I put TV on my list, because I couldn't not include it. It's incredible.
All right. Hasn't made its way to my circles of the internet yet, but
well, it's a lot of gay sex. It's a lot.
I mean, listen, I don't follow hockey, so you know, I think that's what it is. I
will say I have seen some memes about how it also is kind of a parody of the late Fox era X-Men, and I'm like, that also intrigues me even more.
Well, there are 2 characters that started as Cap and Bucky fanfic.
Oh yeah, I have heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty incredible. So yeah, I mean, BD you don't need to watch it, but Jenna, you gotta watch it immediately.
I will. I promise I will.
All right, Aaron, number 2.
My God. Oh man, Jamie, we have to talk about tattoo off air. Number 2, I've got Sinners. This right here, this is one of the people's champ picks right here. I on my corners of the internet, dear God, I don't think the celebration stopped. It's been a 7-month long touchdown dance of everybody. Did you do Halloween this year? Did you seen the Smokestack twins? Are you a white guy who had Halloween this year? You did Remnick and tried to do that accent. Notice how Brandon has never tried to do that accent. We have not added it to the supercut yet.
There's a couple that I'm just not touching.
Ryan and Michael B. Jordan, Wumi Masaku. I mean, the performances are truly, truly outstanding. This is a strange thing where it was a big success, but I think it caught Warner Brothers off guard a little bit. I don't know how, but it felt like it did a little bit. I'm curious to see how if it came out in another year, I would be like, oh yeah, well, he's gonna win Best Picture or Best Director for this thing. But in a year with one battle after another, that probably, I don't know if that's gonna happen or not, but surely an achievement, and something that I know a lot of other higher level directors, like, you know, Greta Gerwig, etc., all looking at that deal like, hey, whoa, what's going on here? Can we get a little bit of that over here? So a completely original, like very unique concept that kind of tumbled out of his brain that everybody seems to love. Sinners totally deserves its spot up here at number 2.
It's worth noting, like, it's the only thing that we all put in our list. It is the one and only, and that says a lot right there.
Yeah.
All right, number 1. Surprising absolutely no one. I have Superman as my number 1 favorite movie, TV show of the year. I think this was such a tall order of a film to reboot or relaunch the DC universe. I think David Corenswet just took the role, just made a Superman that is inspirational. I left the theater every time I watched it, because I went to the theater multiple times, feeling inspired to be a better person, just having had a great time. I think the Mr. Terrific action scene is a signature moment. I think that Lois and Clark's relationship is beautiful, and I've never felt the amount of emotion just by watching a character be told that he's loved, because I love that moment at the end of this movie where she finally says it back and he's just like, I know, come on, this is great stuff. And they're flying, floating. And I think James Gunn managed to put just a few small touches of what you expect from James Gunn and his brand of humor, but then surprised everybody who thought he could only do Guardians of the Galaxy or other, whether it's R-rated or just kind of, whether it's raunchy humor, whatever the stereotypes of James Gunn are. I think he subverted all of those and just delivered something that was family friendly, that adults could love, kids could love, and built a new generation of Superman fans. And I am among them as well. And I say that as a person who loved Man of Steel, but I recognize that it's a huge difference in portrayal of the character and representation of the character. And I just think Superman and the introduction and the supporting cast, that's just all top to bottom. I think this movie was awesome, from the experience of watching it to talking about it online to just everything that it is. I think Superman is easily my favorite thing that happened in movies and TV this year.
My number one also had to be Superman. I mean, there was like no other option. This movie is the movie of the year for me. Like I've seen it 7 times. I look forward to rewatching it for an 8th time on New Year's Eve, because I like always watching like my favorite movie of the year to kind of close out the year. I love it more and more with every passing second. Even just hearing BD talk about certain scenes just like made me feel so happy. As a DC fan who has been in the trenches for so long and who has like loved a lot of the previous incarnations of stuff and the previous adaptations and the ways that you can show these characters, it never occurred to me, and it never felt possible that we could see them to the degree that they're in this movie. Like, this endeared people to the idea of the DC universe in a way that just completely exceeded my expectations. I love it so much. The cast is incredible. Like you said, the action sequences, the Mr. Terrific one is just endlessly delightful. This is the movie of the year for me.
So good. Jamie, you're number one.
Ooh, I do want to give some honorable mentions, which is just...
Hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
Before we do our top,
Yeah.
we're all going to read our top 10.
We are going to... Okay.
And then we'll do an honorable mentions before we read our top 10s back.
Okay, fine. For me, there was no contest. It wasn't even close. It's one battle after another. Not only do I think this was the best film of the year, I think it's the best film of the decade so far. And I think that when we look back on this decade, I think we have 5 years to go, who can say? But I do think it's maybe the most important movie we've gotten so far of this decade. It is. I love Paul Thomas Anderson. I love every film that he's made. I love Leo so much. He's one of my favorite actors. I would pick him for Best Actor this year, but I don't mind that it's probably going to go to Timmy. Everything about this movie, the message, the satire, the performances, it's so funny. It is bleak, but God, my new favorite, like 2 of my favorite movies of all time are Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Wolf of Wall Street. And to me, this completes like the trilogy of Leo being just like a drunk fuck up. Like I could watch, like, that is like 9 hours of content, and I will be doing that for the rest of my life. I'll be watching those 3 movies together. The whole cast, all like the women, like I think BD said this earlier, just like the supporting cast, even those who have smaller roles, everybody shines in this movie. Jenna mentioned Sean Penn and The Walk, which is great, but I have to shout out Benicio del Toro, because I think that Sean Penn and Benicio are both going to get nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and it's going to be interesting. They're going to pull votes from each other, but I do think Sean Penn's going to win. But for me, Benicio's the MVP. He is my favorite character of the year. I love everything he's doing. And then we get like a little bit of Regina Hall, and I love her so much. And to get her, like, she, there's a scene where she's being interrogated and she just has like a tear coming down. She's just so talented. Tiana Taylor, like Chase it, like everyone is so incredible. And it's like breeze. I just watched it for the 3rd time, and it's a long run time, but you don't feel it at all. It's so smooth. It is genuinely, if it doesn't win Best Picture, I'm going to be livid. Listen, Sinners is incredible, and I'm excited for it to be nominated, but One Battle After Another, I think, deserves to win Best Picture this year, and we'll see.
I think the only other scene I would say so far that has come to my mind that competes with the Sinners music scene is the cars on the hills in One Battle. That sequence was amazing. Completely different context and type of scene too, but that sequence was stunning.
I'm so glad you mentioned Benicio because A Few Small Beers has gone like multi-platinum in our household since seeing that movie. Like that, his line delivery is immaculate. It's so good.
We literally have Modelo in our fridge specifically because I don't even drink beer anymore. But like, there's just a lot of Modelo in the fridge now because of Benicio.
All right, Aaron, last one here, number one.
Oh, number one. I said the People's Champ before, but I like super duper People's Champ next. K-pop Demon Hunters. Let's
Yeah.
go. Maggie Kane, Chris Applehouse, take a bow. Like the internet needed this apparently this year. I've seen Sinners 2 times in theaters, which is probably I think the most I've seen in a movie. And I've seen K-pop Demon Hunters 2 times in the theater too, which is crazy. It's a Netflix movie. It doesn't make any sense. Brandon was in the sing-along screening. The vibes were immaculate. It was wild. It was like a real live concert. It was very, very, very wild to see. So something that generates this kind of like outpouring, and especially reading like, you know, AAPI critics and fans takes on seeing their culture reflected on this big giant screen for like in a massive project that just the Billboard charts getting rewritten, and every time something happened in some girl group number going down, my heart clenching because I'm like, what do you mean the preacher's wife record's called? I can't say enough. Like, just it's so fascinating. Once again, another thing that's not based on anything, that's just kind of its own thing and comes out of nowhere, and everybody's like, oh my god, like when's the sequel, when's the prequel? Preeti Chibber, who is the host of the Marvel podcast, literally saw it 2 days ago and was like, you all told me but you didn't tell me, why aren't there 4 of these? Which highest compliment I can give. I can't think of anything else that I would want to sit down and rewatch again more. I've seen it like 9 times. This is a Jamie Girac numbers.
Jamie Girac numbers. Great movie. Great movie. All right, that sing-along screening was a blast. All right, real quick, we'll go through and do some honorable mentions before we read our lists from 10 to 1. My honorable mentions are basically the movies that were first out for me. There are movies also for way further down the list that I would say are worth mentioning, but I had The Studio, Wicked for Good, Frankenstein, Thunderbolts, and Avatar 3 as like my next 5 out. And then Naked Gun and Fantastic Four are right there as well. Did not expect Primitive War to be the best dinosaur movie of the year, but Jurassic World Rebirth was a pile of dinosaur poo that even Jeff Goldblum would stop to stare at. And that's pretty much my takeaways. I think Studio, Wicked for Good. Studio is probably one of my biggest surprises of the year. Wicked for Good was great, but I thought not as good as the first one. Just didn't feel as fun and new, but a really powerful, great film. And Naked Gun also surprised me. In Your Dreams is another one that surprised me, but I just didn't want to put it in the list because I just didn't top these for me. But yeah, those are my honorable mentions. Jen, anything you want to shout out?
I'm gonna shout out Wake Up Dead Man. I almost put it in the top 10. But I was like, there were other things that I loved more. I feel like once I rewatch it a couple more times, it will firmly be in my top 10 for the year. It is so well done. I was so glad that I saw it in a theater. I also have to honorable mention Friendship, which is another Tim Robinson project. Is a movie in which he is a guy who develops a friendship with Paul Rudd playing like the local weatherman who just moved to town. And it is just as deranged as Chair Company, and I think you should leave. It is also a very good movie.
Jamie, let's hear him.
Okay, well, you know, I have to shout out Wicked for Good because I did really love it, and Wicked was my number 1 movie last year, but it just wasn't as good, and I found myself not excited about it on the list. But I of course loved it, and it did feel weird not to include any comic book stuff on here. I really liked everything that came out except Brave New World. Every single comic book project that came out, I thought was good, and I will say Peacemaker was probably my favorite of everything, and I did love Superman 2, of course, and Thunderbolts. Like all of those were great. It just wasn't for me a big year for comic book movies. My honorable mentions, I also had Friendship on my list. Loved it very much. And the latest season of Hacks was great. I love Hacks. But I want to say my wild card, the one movie that I almost put on here that is so weird and random is the 50 years of SNL music documentary
Hmm.
that Questlove did. It's like I've been watching SNL on and off in spurts my whole life. I don't really watch it much anymore. I did watch this week for sure. But one weird thing about, like, lame thing about me is I'm not a music person. So my whole life I have fast forward or skipped the musical performances. I never watch them. And watching a documentary specifically about that, I was like enamored, and I felt shame that I've never been watching these my whole life. And the way it was edited and the musical performances they chose to focus on were just so great. I enjoyed it so much. And every time I say it's in my top 10 films of the year, Tony's like, that's so weird. But it really, like, it struck a chord with me, and I enjoyed it. I liked celebrating the 50th of SNL this year, even though I don't really pay attention to it anymore. When I watched this week, I don't know who half those young people were. Okay, it made me feel old. You suck. Come on.
I put it for audio listeners. I had put a very obviously
Meme.
valid Jamie hates comic book movies confirmed on the bottom screen there. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Aaron, any quick shout outs you want to mention, honorable mentions or anything like that?
Oh, sure. We got, let's see here, Marvel Zombies, because I could have never dreamed that I would have enjoyed that as much as I did. I'm still really shocked by that in of itself. Zootopia 2, also excellent, but it just released like 5 days ago. So I was like, I didn't trust myself. And I'm not that huge on the first Zootopia, but obviously all that money cannot lie. We've got, I want to say, yeah, like Dotted on Evil Eye was good. I saw that in the theater, but I didn't feel like it belonged up here. Denny Ajubebe does exactly one backflip, is tremendous. It's on Dropout TV. It's it's a comedy special. And Denny is the September guy. If you are on the internet for any amount of time, I've missed him videos desperately. So of course I watched that. And rounding it out was on Adult Swim. They have this Shipangumi, the movie, which is Ginger Root's album. And he made a lo-fi movie that's like a long music video, but also like a very short film shot on 1980s TV cameras with the budget that Adult Swim gave them. And it's up there for free on YouTube. And I was like, this is my exact stuff. This would have been my personality if I was 13 years old. It didn't make the list, but dang, I had to respect it.
All right, here we go. From 10 to 1, I'll go first. 10, One Battle After Another. 9, Predator Badlands. 8, The Housemaid. 7, Sinners. 6, 28 Years Later. 5, Daredevil Born Again. 4, F1. 3, Peacemaker Season 2. 2, Andor Season 2. 1, Superman.
All right, my top 10 is number 10, Righteous Gemstones, number 9, Naked Gun, number 8, Chair Company, number 7, Thunderbolts, number 6, Sinners, number 5, Frankenstein, number 4, The Rehearsal Season 2, number 3, One Battle After Another, number 2, Peacemaker, number 1, Superman.
All right. Number 10, Hedda. 9, The Studio. 8, Sinners. 7, Marty Supreme. 6, Begonia. 5, Severance. 4, Freakier Friday. 3, Stranger Things Season 5, Part 1. 2, Heated Rivalry. And number 1, One Battle After Another.
All right. So at 10, I've got Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. Number 9, Ironheart. At number 8, I Was Changed for Good by Wicked for Good. Number 7, Thunderbolts. Number 6, Heated Rivalry, because obviously. Number 5, Freakier Friday. Number 4, Superman. Number 3, which is weird, The Fantastic Four, First Steps. Number 2, Sinners. And we're going up, up, up. It's their moment. Number 1 is K-Pop Demon Hunters.
Nicely done. I have a surprise for everybody real quick. I'm going to pull this up on the screen. This is our anticipation hype rankings from the beginning of the year.
Oh, just for comic book stuff. Okay.
Just for comic book movies. We only did comic book TV shows and movies. Jenna and I seem to both have met the expectation on Superman, but Fantastic Four did not end up on either of our lists at the end of the year. Aaron, you had Fantastic Four number 1. And it finished number 3 for you overall. That's pretty
And
good.
Thunderbolts wasn't even on your list.
Thunderbolts not even there.
Wow. Look at us. So that was our rankings. And so we are going to do our hype rankings episode on New Year's Eve. And that will also be the same format as this last one, where we did our comic book TV shows and movies, and that will be releasing on Wednesday, New Year's Eve, on audio platforms, probably same day. But But anyway, that's our hype. Our 2025 best of rankings. Who do you agree with the most? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Whose list do you most align with? And please, everybody, share your top 10 of any brand, of any genre in the comment section. Send them to us on social media. And Jenna, any last words for today's episode?
Yeah, everyone have a happy holiday. It's at Hey It's Jenna Lynn on social media. As always, go read some comics and go subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is at Go Read Some Comics. I'm going to recommend one in particular, the Absolute Wonder Woman and Absolute Batman crossover published today, and it is even more delightful than you could possibly imagine. So go check that out. Go catch up on those books. They are so good.
Jenna, did you see that Absolute Batman Hot Toys figure?
Yes, I did. I agree with Scott Snyder that like the face mold is a little off, but like it still is very cool. Like the spikes and stuff look amazing.
I think they might update the face mold. That I think they just wanted to reveal it this year. Aaron, any last words for today's episode?
Oh, it's at How to Watch Free TV. Thank you guys for rocking with us this year. It's been so fun. This week I have Jordan Sparks on to talk about Merry Little Mystery over on Roku channel, and then a bunch of other holiday favorites. So if you're looking for something to watch in the holidays and you don't have any money, or maybe you do and you're just cheap, come on over to How to Watch Free TV. Come over to Free Space. We've got that for you. That's How to Watch Free.tv for the newsletter right in your inbox. Thank you guys.
Jamie and Kat.
Loretta's here to say hello and everyone, and happy New Year, happy Christmas, Hanukkah, a little late, but whatever you guys celebrate. This has been a really fun year doing the show. Thanks to everyone who's joined us. It's been a really good year for film and television. Follow at Lido Pod, Loving the Time of Hydra. We are starting to cover Agent Carter season 2 in January, so that's going to be really fun. Follow me on Letterboxd at Jamie Jurak. I have 1 week left to reach my goal of 650 movies this year. I've almost done it, so that'll be fun. I've been watching lots of stuff, so it's all great. Love you guys. Excited to do our hype rankings. I think that's going to be way more chaotic.
I think so. I think when there's a limit on what's viable, what's an option. There's 11 titles, and we'll get to that next week. But I think those always end up being more chaotic, and we'll see on that one, everybody. So please continue to subscribe to the channel, listen to the show, take screenshots, share them on your Instagram story, tag us, send us your list, send us your rankings, send us what you want to talk about, send thoughts, whatever you want to phaseheropod@gmail.com at any time, and play our show for your dad, play it for your cat. Have a wonderful holiday, have a safe weekend, and we will see you on the next one, everybody.